This is the Milo Beasley Show. This is the Milo Beasley Show. There's only one thing you need to know. This is the Milo Beasley Show. And now, here's your host, Milo Beasley.
And welcome to a brand new episode of the Milo Beasley Show. This is our very first show of 2021. Finally, my guest this week, please help me welcome friend of the show, friend of FSCW, Josh Martin. How are you doing, man?
I'm well. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm glad you're my first guest of this Zoom style, the virtual guest, if you will.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it. It's
So,
an honor.
but yeah, so like, how have you been doing during 2020, man? Like with conventions down, I don't know how
Right.
work has been. I don't know if it's been consistent still with voiceover work, but how have you been doing?
Well, luckily I'm still here. Been surviving, and I'm fortunate in some aspects. I am missing conventions and seeing all my friends and fans and having a good time and stuff. But been able to still reach out to some online through other online conventions, through GalaxyCon and uh, some other online autograph uh, services.
All right.
And yeah. And other than that, I got three girls. I got
Oh,
a wife. I got a house.
fantastic.
So pandemic or no, it doesn't stop over here.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. So yeah, been staying busy.
And what about like acting work?
Yeah, continuing to audition, not as much as before. Not working as much as before, but there some people have adapted as everyone has had to,
Right.
and at home recording sessions have happened and continue to happen, and seem to be going to happen for the near future.
Right. So this is
Uh,
something that like it's very interesting because this has been brought up. I do a lot of voiceover
right?
panels at the conventions, and one thing
Yes.
that a lot of the actors say, so it's gone away from the everybody goes to the studio to film your segment, and there's a
Right.
lot of at home recording. So I guess if it just prepared you for this type of scenario, I suppose.
It's made the transition a little easier. I can tell you that much. Some of it we've had to become our own engineer,
Right.
as well as other as other aspects. Whereas before, I used to just show up, show off, and leave.
Right.
But now you got to show up a little early, a little earlier.
Right.
You got to know how to use a tablet. Got to know how to pinch and pull and shift and
Right. But
so
I'm guessing, but
yeah.
you've probably been able to make your like since you're the one in charge, make your voice do some different things than maybe you were able to before.
Well, maybe engineer was a little bit of a
Right.
generous term.
Right.
We have to do some of the the on hand editing,
Oh,
to
right.
shrink it and
Oh, right.
or make sure it fits, and if it doesn't, cut off the extra.
Right.
But beyond that,
Right.
the engineering is still left to the David Copperfields and Chris, as I like to affectionately call them.
Have you been doing anything else? Like, I guess, what banana bread was a big fad at the beginning. Everyone's like, "Hey, I'm going to work on that novel." Have you been able to do anything like
Sure.
that?
Yes, actually. I found that no matter what, not that I ever doubted it before, but it's been extremely clear this year that no matter what, I will always be creative. No, after a couple of weeks of things kind of settling down, I was like, I got to do something, and I wrote a song.
Oh,
And I made a video and I put it on Facebook and other things. Let's see. Yeah, it was about the TP, the toilet paper
Oh,
shortage, right? And it was a little Beatle-esque Oasis kind of poppy vibe. And then you know, a couple of weeks later, I got another itch, and I made another song called "Party in My Closet," dance party in my closet. Sorry, dance party in my closet, right?
right.
So you know, after a while, couldn't go out anymore, couldn't go clubbing, couldn't do anything. So got to have your own dance party in your closet.
So
So I made a video.
when you when we get back to these in-person events, are you going to have CDs for sale at the at your merch booth?
Wouldn't that be nice? I will now that you said it.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will now.
Or
Yes.
post-show VIP party concerts.
Listen, I'm always up for it. You know, I'm in a Beastie Boys tribute band.
What? I did not know
Yes.
this. This is
Yes, since 2009, believe it or not. I can't believe it's been that long.
And how come Broder is not bringing this band?
Well, we've discussed it. We've discussed it. I think we were probably getting a little closer to it before things shut down. Not that he was
Right.
ready to pull the trigger or anything like that, but
Right.
you know, he's aware, and he'd made mention of that'd be a cool thing to get involved, and
Absolutely.
we stay ready. So you know, at any
Absolutely.
point.
Yeah. So I mean, speaking of Broder and GalaxyCon, that's where I first met you,
Yes.
working at FSCW.
Gosh, I'm so lucky. Thank y'all so much for letting me and Chris get involved with all that. Like a dream come true.
Of
The
course.
boy's been watching wrestling since he was 5 years old.
For those who don't know, FSCW is Fantasy Super Cosplay Wrestling. We have events at GalaxyCon, previously at Florida SuperCon, and you have been gracious enough. I know your time is super tight at these conventions, and you've been gracious enough to give us your time, do a little bit of commentary. When are we going to get you in ring?
Listen, well, you guys are lucky that my in-ring days are long gone.
Okay.
2 years ago, I got total ankle replacement surgery.
Oh,
So I am never going to have another surgery ever. That was my first and only, besides tonsils out,
right.
first and only surgery. And I will have to be it will have to be an emergency, and I will have zero say in it if anything ever gets cut on again on me, because
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah,
It's
I've been
2 years
there.
and I'm still trying to feel my foot. I
Oh
still
man.
can't feel it. All of
Oh
it.
man. So
It's getting better gradually, but listen, but before then, I had been at a smaller con in San Antonio, and a smaller wrestling outfit was involved with them, and I went over there, and it's online actually on YouTube. There's a little impromptu. I had a 30-second match.
yeah, I saw you
with
drop
a
an
guy.
elbow.
Yeah, I did. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one. And, oh my gosh. I tell you what, I actually went to a training session back here in Dallas a few months after that at 43, right before my ankle surgery, right before it. And dude, I went through the whole thing, and I got, oh my gosh, I got the bug. But after a couple of bumps, I've had 8 concussions playing soccer and other things already.
Wow.
So after a couple of bumps, I was like, no.
Seeing the
it'll
little
happen again.
stars and
Yep,
stuff.
I could feel the woos, you know what I mean? And it just, at 43, it wasn't where, if I was 20, you know what I mean? Oh, cool. Yeah, go, hold on. And I'm back. Yeah, let's do it. You know, but those days are long gone. But listen, any chance I get to be involved with the product, you guys are so awesome. And it's just so cool. I appreciate y'all.
I
So
mean, maybe
just let me know.
maybe we need a commissioner or something.
You know, I think the manager is a long lost tool in the wrestling industry, and I could do that.
So besides one of your characters,
Yes,
is there a character out there, whether it be superhero, anime, movie, that you would like to cosplay for FSCW?
Ooh. Oh my. Oh wow, there's a lot of them that come to mind. Actually, the first one that comes to mind, I think it'd be funny to do Jim Cornette. I love to do. I don't know how well that would go over. He has a little disdain for cosplay. Cosplay? Oh, well, I don't give a what the fuck's all this flippy shit. God damn. Anyway, that he'd be a good villain for you guys.
Absolutely.
Maybe be a good opportunity for someone to come in and lay the smack down on him. Who else? I always wanted to be Spider-Man.
Okay.
I think someone here already took that. Didn't you do?
Yeah, it was kind
Maybe,
of a
or
yeah, just a little bit.
maybe you had a friend. You were good friends with
I
the
was
guy who
yes,
did it.
good, yeah,
Yes,
good
there you,
friends is the industry term, right?
there it is. Yes, I learned that back in my Barney days.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. But I always loved George the Animal Steel.
Hmm.
You know, the quiet guys who didn't say much or anything, but could just command that entire arena with just a look. You know, just love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So who were your favorite wrestlers? Who were your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely George the Animal Steel. I dug that. My first draw was Ric Flair. I remember
Absolutely.
walking in on my papa watching wrestling, and I'd seen him watch it before, you know, but it's like whatever. And then I caught Flair doing a promo, and I was glued. So then I was like, well, what's this about? Well, there's more to it. This is something entertaining. And then of course, well, here's the Dusty Rhodes and the
Absolutely.
Road Warriors. And I growing up in Louisiana, I saw WCCW,
So
World Class
that's what I was gonna ask you. Like
Von
where like
Erich.
your
Oh,
influences. Like I was a Florida guy, so I had the same
okay.
thing. Those Southern, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes,
Uh-huh.
the Road
Uh-huh.
Warriors, guys like that. So
Yes.
you
Yes.
know,
Yes. I mean, I didn't know who Rush was, the band.
right.
I didn't know the song Tom Sawyer, but when I hear, I mean, still today, I hear that song go, and I'm just like, oh, we got to do. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I need to do something. It just juices me up.
So that's gonna be your entrance music then.
Listen, I'm telling you that if
All right.
now the other one is too. I say if Boo was a wrestler, his entrance music would be Baby Metal's "Gimme Chocolate."
Baby metal.
Right?
Yes, yes,
You know the song,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
Huh? I mean, come
absolutely.
on. And then Boo coming in. Oh my God, it's perfect.
It would be.
Don't you think?
Yeah,
Anyway,
I want we got I wonder if we can I mean that might take a little bit of ingenuity, but we might be able to do that.
we might there might be a now listen, there's a Samoan Hawaiian. Forgive me if I'm uh culturizing, but he's an independent wrestler. I found him through Leva's
Okay.
Twitter page. A bigger guy, lower down on the independents.
Okay.
Not saying anything about his
Right. I know.
sport.
Yep.
And dude, that kind of guy, I think maybe you get him in a leotard, or if he's all in, you paint him.
Right.
And,
Yep.
and then you had the little Japanese girls come in on the entrance with them.
Right.
Dad, we're making gold right here.
Absolutely. Do you watch wrestling now still?
As much as I can. Like I said, I got 3 girls and a
Right.
wife and children and a house and all that stuff. So I don't get to watch all of it as much. But thankfully, with the YouTube,
Right.
I can kind of get up on as much as possible. You know, back in the day when the internet was starting out, uh, I thought it was super cool that I could at least read the sheets, you know, and check
Oh,
out what NJPW. Oh, who are these guys? I don't know. Sounds like they're having a cool match. You know, I didn't even get to see them yet. And then,
right.
you know, I was never a tape collector. Growing up in Louisiana, there I didn't know anything about that. I just, oh look, it's on channel 33. I'll watch it because I like it.
Right. Do you have any
But
favorite? Do you have any favorites now, like who are on?
oh yeah, I Keith Lee
Keith
is
Lee,
a
absolutely.
favorite. I met him a long time ago. Been following him. Great guy, just a really good guy, hard worker, and I see a lot of potential in him. I love Leva.
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan. Have been for a while.
Right.
She's
How
a
could you not
great
be?
person. Yeah, right. I mean, just infectious, whether she's a wrestler or not.
Right.
But and great talent, great person. Always like your work when I can figure out when I see oh, that's okay. So yeah, I don't ever always recognize it's you at the beginning,
Right.
but yeah. Um, dude, I'm just a huge fan. I'm an entertainer, so I appreciate the art form. I appreciate the storytelling. I really do. As much as Cornette pisses me off sometimes.
Were you able
I
to meet him when we had him in Louisville for GalaxyCon?
No, I didn't. Oh my gosh. There's so many. I walked by Arn Anderson a few times at the last con, and he looked at me and I looked at him and I just thought, man, we need to sit down and have a steak together. That's
Right.
but you know how I go. I'm just like,
Absolutely. And you got the Anderson beard too.
it's coming.
Now I see the artwork behind you.
Yes.
Do you just have a shrine to Boo, like, or what other
Mhm.
what other pieces of merchandise or fan things, or what do you have in your house?
I get most, if I can find Boo, I get it. Now I don't go crazy and get everything, just search
Right.
it out and find it and get it. But if I have the opportunity and it's something that I think is cool, then I grab it. And I always appreciate any gift, no matter what it is. And I've gotten a lot of those. I've gotten a Majin belt, a replica. They took a weightlifter's
Oh,
belt, right?
right.
And turned it around backwards and put the M on the back support part. He did a great job.
That
Gave
is
it to me,
awesome.
right, right. The perler beads, pens, sculptures, art. All kinds of things to the licensed merchandise, the
Right.
pops, the figures and all that other kind of stuff. It's kind of a cool thing. This one here, glows in black light.
Oh,
The dark pinks.
that is awesome.
Yeah, that glows in the dark. And then this is kind of an abstract take on Boo. And yeah, I'm shameless self-promoter.
I get
Nobody
it.
else does it.
Hey, if you can't be a fan of yourself, then who's going to be?
Come on, I'm the guy wearing my own band shirt. Yes, sir.
Are there any other, like, if you were able to slide in like on another anime, another show, and do some voices for, what show would that be?
I'll do all of them.
You do.
Yeah, anyone they want me to, and I usually do.
Right.
That's the fun. I guess probably, I always like to be on the new hot stuff. My
Right.
Hero.
Oh, My
I'll
Hero.
take that.
My Hero is ridiculously over. I have never
Just
seen anything
jumped
like it.
off, isn't it?
Like it is, like the first time I did a panel for My Hero,
Uh-huh.
like they're like, hey, like you're in the big room, and I was like, I'm in the big room, and then
For
I
what?
walk in, and there's 10,000 people in this room, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and you never I don't know how or why or whatever. I mean, it's cool. I've seen
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
But I'm a little, like I was saying, shameless self-promotion. I don't watch a lot of stuff that I'm not in.
Right.
Again, I got kids and things, so I
Right.
don't do a lot of other stuff if it doesn't involve them. Like right now, they're yelling at me. Like I'm kidding. Yeah, that's it.
So
What do you say?
how old are your kids? How old
I
are your
have
girls?
one 14-year-old. She
Okay.
just turned 14 on the 22nd,
Oh.
and 11-year-old twin females.
Oh, wow. Well, good luck.
Yes, indeed.
So did
It's
they
a Royal Rumble here every day.
so when they were younger, did they watch Barney?
The 14-year-old, the older one,
Right.
she watched it a little bit. I actually took her to the set
That's awesome.
in I think it was 08. Was that it? 08 or 09. Can't remember.
Now, did she understand that like not only was like that Barney wasn't actually a dinosaur, but like her dad was the dinosaur?
No, not not
Right.
initially. She really didn't get it. I took her on the set and she was like, "Oh, where's Barney?" I'm like, "Well, he's sleeping right now. He's resting."
That's great.
"Oh, okay. All
Uh,
right. Well, cool. Look, this is Mother Goose's place. This is the library. This is the playground, and all, she
just like,
dug it. And then as she's gotten older,
right.
as they've all gotten older, they're like, I told or somebody asked me or I told someone, and then
Right.
Daddy, they sing bad songs about you. I know. I've heard them all. It's
Now,
okay.
now she wasn't on set the day you caught on fire, right?
Oh no. She wasn't even
That was,
born. I wouldn't even
oh,
hadn't even met my wife yet.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that
That
was
must have
97.
97. Gosh, I mean, I remember that because so 97,
Okay.
my sisters would have been 11 and 8.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they, like 8 year,
Mhm.
right in that, prime viewing area. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
was just 22. I'm
yeah.
about
So
22 and a half
that's,
at that
yeah,
point.
that's insane.
It
Like
was
that,
crazy,
that Barney has lived that long,
right?
and
It's
you got
crazy they let me do it.
right,
I
and
can't
you got
believe it.
to, you've done panels with Bob West recently.
I did one. Yeah,
Yeah.
our first and only one ever. That was
Yeah.
really cool.
That was
Yeah, I
really
got to
cool.
hear a lot of stories that I had never heard. That was one of the only things that I was bummed out about working on the television show was that Bob wasn't there.
Right.
I really was a fan of like voiceover. I was like, oh, there. I mean, it's cool. I get to be in the costume and stuff, but that booth is at least got some ventilation in it. You know what I mean? It's at least cooler.
Right.
But
Right.
I still, and being a fan of cartoons and that sort of thing, I was a fan of that side of the industry and that work. So yeah, that was the only thing that really kind of bummed me out about doing it's nothing really bummed me out. I
Right.
just thought, oh, of all the things that would have been like super extra cool, I get to see Bob. But and then Julian and Patty were gone too,
Right.
because they were doing the movie. But I've looked up to them as well. If you don't know it, Boo takes a little bit of Baby Bop. If you
Uh,
go back and listen, you can hear
Hmm.
it.
I am gonna have to go back and listen.
Baby Bob. No.
Yeah, it's very, very similar now that I think about it.
Right?
So
Yeah.
how did you even get into doing voices to begin with and then get into voices for a living?
Sure. Well, I guess getting into voices is more of a inherent gene talent, I guess you call
Right.
it, or a
Yeah.
gift. I'll take it as a gift. I'll go ahead and claim it as a gift. And I got a decent ear. I can sing a little bit. I don't have the prettiest voice, but I'll be on key
Right.
and on rhythm, and I can mimic voices pretty good. I found out that I could do that at a pretty young age. I was doing Scooby-Doo, off the bat, and for whatever reason, I latched on to Pillsbury Doughboy commercials. Nothing says nothing like my crescent rolls. I just
That's
thought
fantastic.
it's hilarious. That's so he's this cute little thing in my crescent roll. And so yeah, that's how I got into voices.
Right.
Now that brings it to how I got into voice acting, which is growing up in Louisiana. I wanted to be an actor. I decided that I wanted to be an actor after attending a year of college and playing soccer and not really digging it. And I got the bug to be an actor in second grade. Charlie Brown, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Okay.
And it's because I played Linus. And there was a line that Linus says, "Come on, Charlie Brown, you can do it. Boy, am I a hypocrite." So that was my line. But as a second grader, I didn't know what hypocrite meant.
Right.
I didn't get it once she explained it to me either. I mean, I was country as you can be. Hypocrite. I was like, might as well have been speaking a foreign language. And even she told me what it meant, and I still didn't get it. And she goes, "It's all right, Josh. Miss Childress, rest in peace. She just passed a few days ago." She said, "All right, Josh. Now here, say, 'Come on, Charlie Brown, you can do it,' and then jump to the side, put your hand up to your mouth, and say, 'Boy, am I a hypocrite.'" So the night of the play, I did it. "Boy, am I a hypocrite." And the audience went and laughed and clapped. And my eyes went, need more.
The drug. Yes.
And so, we didn't do a lot of plays in Halton, Louisiana, home of Dak Prescott, by the way.
Oh,
But everyone we did, I was in, and then I entertained the rest of the town on top of it. So fast forward to 94, I had been to college. I went to Dallas to go to acting school, and met up with Chris Rager and Mike McFarland and a few other people. And we started comedy troupes because no one would hire us to work because we didn't have agents. And we could get agents because we'd never worked. Imagine that. So Catch-22 being what it was,
right.
We all kind of had the like senses of comedy and senses of humor. Saturday Night Live, In Living Color, Monty Python, Second City, The Groundlings, The State at that time, Anyway, we were into it, and so we decided we were going to start a comedy troupe, like a band.
Right.
We'll go to clubs and perform and make people come see us, and then we'll get an agent. And sure enough, let's see, I guess it probably took about 5 years for us to settle into Section 8 comedy.
Right.
We were actors without a stage in the beginning with like 14 people, just oh my gosh, doing these long form improvs, and there were some inklings of funny stuff, but it along the way we trimmed the fat.
Right.
We got used to what we were doing. We wound up all living together, the 6 of us, 6 guys, except for McFarland. He never wanted to live with any of us. He was the smart one. And so we essentially worked and ate and slept 24/7 with each other. So even when we were waking up and doing whatever we were doing to get the day started, we were working. Wow. And if you ask Mark Orvik, he was working while he was sleeping because he remembered his dreams and he'd just wake up talking stuff. Anyway, speaking of Mark Orvik, first day of comedy rehearsal, we say, who can do what imitations? I raised my hand. I can do Scooby-Doo. Everybody else, so can I. I was like, oh, well, that didn't go over well. I said, well, I can do the Pillsbury Doughboy. And they're like, really? Let's hear this. And so I did, nothing says loving like my crescent rolls. And they were like, oh, that's good. And I went, oh, okay. There's a room full of guys that are,
Absolutely.
Yeah, a room full of wrestlers. I bet you it's hard to impress them too, right? So then Mark Orvik goes, hey, say this. And I went, I'm hollering 187 with my dough in your mouth, biatch. And the whole room cracked up laughing. And so that bore the Pillsbury homeboy. Yes, we wrote a whole backstory for him. He was he got jumped on his way home from school one day by the rival gang, the Keebler Elves, and that in turn triggered him. He went home and smoked a lot of pot and listened to a lot of gangster rap music, and he came out on the other end a gangster rapping doughboy. And I rewrote, Snoop Dogg's "What's My Name?"
Yeah.
What's my muffin bacon name? I'm hollering 187 with my dough in your mouth, biatch.
That's got to be on the CD, man.
I've got a whole CD.
That's got to be on the CD. Oh,
I'm from the bakery, right up the block. Pillsbury getting funky with what's in the pot. More cocoa for your ass. I'm the one to blame. When you taste my cooking, you'll scream my name.
oh my gosh. That's
And it just keeps going. So I redid that, and I did it all the way until 2009.
that's
And
fantastic.
then in 2000, Chris Sabat had come to the show after he had already cast Rager and McFarlane as Roshi and Satan, respectively. And he saw me do the Pillsbury Homeboy, and Majin Buu was coming up in the saga for the first time. And he came up to me after the show and he said, I think I found the voice of Majin Buu. And
That's
dude, the next
fantastic.
next thing you know,
Wow.
20 years later, here I am.
Perfect.
20 minutes later, I finished the story. Sorry, brother.
Oh, no problem. So before we wrap up, there's a thing I like to do called the top 5, or ask a random question.
Okay.
Since I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic for conventions, top 5 fanboy moments that you had, other celebrity guests that you totally fanboyed out for.
Ooh, okay. Top 5. Let's see. I'm gonna go 5. Oh, Christian.
Oh,
Christian,
okay.
aka Jason.
Right.
Just randomly met him, and you'd have thought we'd just hanging at the bar talking and stuff. Colleen Klinkenbeard was there when we met. We were talking. She's like, "Hi, I'm Colleen." I was like, "This is Christian." She's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "He's a professional wrestler." And I ran down his whole story for her, and she was like, "Oh, well, I guess you like him." Yeah, I do. William Shatner was
Of
a
course,
cool one.
the Shatner,
Now I didn't
yeah.
necessarily meet him, but me and Rager were sitting at the table having a sandwich, and then he came in and had a seat, and then John Cusack had a seat at the same table, and we never said a word to him, but they just had a conversation. It was great. Let's see. I love knowing that I know Dana Snyder.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Um,
It's so weird when I get texts from them too. It's so like, I'm like, oh, hey, okay.
I know him.
Exactly.
um,
And then
Oh.
I think that I recently found out about, did you know that he was the voice for the This Is Fine dog? You know the meme that This Is Fine, like they're the dog that's in the firehouse?
no. Oh, yes. I did know that.
So he's the
I
voice of that. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
it's crazy.
I forever enshrined in the meme world. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Okay.
I've got a great picture of me, him, and Rager.
Oh, that's great.
We talked for a minute. He was nearby our table, and we just chatted for our handler was his handler and stuff. And he came by and talked to us for a second. And before he leaves, he goes, "All right, well, you guys want a picture?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he went into show mode. "All right, come on, get in here. Thumbs out. Oh, all right, one more. Hands around the neck. And 2, 3. And all right, good to meet you guys. Have a good one." And then he was out.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And one more.
Brian O'Halloran.
Oh, yes, from Clark's. He's such a nice guy. Like, he is like the nicest.
Absolutely. I met him in Shreveport at GeekCon for the first time and sat next to him, and he had his radio going. I was like, well, okay, first of all, I already like him from Clerks, and he plays good music. This can't get bad.
Right.
And then he was super cool to us. And then he said he liked Dragon Ball Z and knew who we were. And I went, no, you don't. You don't. And sure, after it wasn't smoke. After that one, every convention we say
Wow.
hi. Have a, it's awesome.
That's great.
I love it. I
That
miss
is,
it.
oh, I know. I miss it too. It's just, I feel like, I mean,
Yeah, all right.
So before we wrap up, where can folks find you on the social medias?
I am on Twitter at Josh Martin Voice, Instagram at Original Boo, and then Josh Martin. You Josh Martin voice. There's a couple of other Josh Martins.
Right.
Figure. But, yeah, if you do Josh Martin voice, I'm the only one.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with me this evening. And hopefully 2021 gets us back to somewhat normalcy and we can get back to hanging out together again, man. I absolutely
No
miss it.
doubt. Same to you, man. You stay well.
Yes.
Much love.
All right. Thank you very much, Josh. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Mwah!
Same to you.
Mwah.